And welcome back to Who Would Win. Today's Who Would Win comes to us from John Ballard, who asked the question, who would win the fight, John Constantine or Harry Dresden from the Dresden Files? Now, first off, I should note, I could have sworn other people gave me this request, but I looked through every request I had. Now, maybe I missed something. Maybe I forgot to write it down. I'm pretty sure I didn't, but I couldn't find anyone else that gave me this request, and I'm almost dead certain I've seen it more than the one time. But I couldn't find it, so just if by chance you did shoot me that request, let me know. I'll take another look, and I'll add into the description. By the way, the thumbnail is from Deathbattle, or I think it's the Deathbattle Dino, or Deathbattle Dino. One or the other, from DeviantArt, so check his stuff out. There's my shout-out to the person who made the thumbnail, because that will be what I do. And I hear this fight a lot. I've even asked Mark this, because Mark's read the Dresden Files. I think he has a couple of the books. He's a big John Constantine fan, which I am too. And they're kind of similar to each other, but different. John Constantine he's not truly, I mean, he is a con man to some degree, but he's more of a, as his main description, he's an occult detective, but he's also kind of a con man, a bit of kind of a thief, but he's a guy who operates by his own rules a little outside the system of, not government, but the system of law that, his work entails him in. And his job is to, look into the occult, help lost souls, fight demons, all that stuff. Now, here's the weird thing. For a while, John Constantine never came off as a very powerful character, magically speaking. It was more that he used his wits and the little bit of magic he knew to outsmart demons. And he's a very intelligent guy. He's not, I wouldn't say he's a genius, but he's clearly an intelligent dude. Excellent con artist and negotiator. Often, he's even, I think, lied to Batman's face and gotten away with it. That's usually how he gets out of most of his bouts with demons and entities. But that's not to say he's not a skilled, magician and sorcerer. Truth be told, he's actually a highly skilled sorcerer. And that, I think, came later in the series, honestly. Especially when you go into, the anime movies like Justice League Dark, all that stuff. And I'm looking at him doing this magic, is John really capable of doing this crap? Or are they just doing this because, the reasons? But no, he is capable of doing a lot of this stuff. So, having been practicing magic since he was a teen, he quickly mastered all the magic that Europe had to offer and went to America to train under Necro, a notable magician. So basically, he is a master in all forms of European magic that the continent had to offer. But he's capable of doing things not limited to, but including astral projection. Chlorokinesis? What the hell is chlorokinesis? It's not chronokinesis. Okay, that's plant manipulation. Okay, I figured it was, but I had to be certain. Cosmic awareness on some level. Obviously, he's not omniscient, depending on the story you're reading. Demon summoning, capable of summoning demonic entities through various spells, making pacts with them for whatever purpose. Dimensional travel, capable of moving between dimensions and realities. Divination. Disintegration, was able to use magic to incinerate a cultist. Capable of using magic to project bolts of electricity. Electric blast, a bigger blast of electricity. Energy construct creation, so basically magical items. Energy protection, able multiple forms of energy, including solar energy, which he used against the vampire. So theoretically, any energy is pretty much at his disposal. Like exorcism, one of the important things he does to help people. Illusion casting, invisibility, magical sense, able to sense the presence of magic. Mind control, mentioned that has rewritten his landlord's brain. I think he's already paid rent. Lovely. Necromancy, pyrokinesis, capable of using magic to manipulate fire. Sigil magic, able to project a powerful magical sigil that he claims is powerful enough to kill a god. That could just be him bullshitting. Spirit ward creation, it knows how to create protection circles that once entered, he can't be harmed. Telekinesis, telekinetically freeze and restrain people. Teleportation, teleport him and others and other items. He formerly had demon blood, but we're not going to go over that. He also is skilled at hypnosis, escaping, multilinguistic, occultism, prestidigitation, decent singing. He was apparently the lead singer of a punk grudge band called, Mucous Membrane. Intimidation. He's very intimidating. Yeah, you want to talk about someone, if I ever do a lantern video on John Constantine, who could actually qualify legitimately for a yellow lantern ring. John Constantine scares the crap out of a lot of demons because the man's got a rep. Most of his weapons are no longer real weapons. They're like former weapons. Like he at one point had the Helm of Fate. At one point had the yellow power ring. There you freaking go. And he formerly had Transformation House of Mystery. The only weapon he actually apparently has still is the Moonblade, which appeared in one of his as one of his arsenal of magical weapons. The blade is said to shape with different phases of the moon. A long sword when the moon is full, a dagger when it's new, and just like the twin blade, which was a different weapon, I guess, it can kill anyone with one clean hit. And John used it to kill Mr. Ede. Those killed by the Moonblade have their spirits stored in it and make them perfect slaves for Constantine. That being said, Constantine has a smoking issue, which means he's got severe lung damage. In the movie, he gets that fixed by Satan or Lucifer, so he can prove that his soul belongs in hell, and then goes the gum. When it happened in the comic, he just went right back to smoking. So yeah, I liked it. John's a guy who does not play by the rules. He will do whatever it takes to win, be it cheat, whatever. But ultimately, he's still human. He still has the limitations of a man. John's body did contain demon blood at one point, which allowed him to channel magic and cast spells without facing the cost of it. Now, clearly, he doesn't have that. Harry Dresden. Now, Harry Dresden, allow me to get his information up real quick, whose complete name is Harry Blackstone Copperfield Dresden, is a male human wizard with a talent for, alchemy and, let me see if I can get this word right, thaumaturgy, maybe? It's a kind of magic that operates on its target indirectly. Okay, there you go. Jesus, when I talk about pronunciation, I'm sure if I heard the word, I'd have no problem saying it. But yeah, working as he's a private investigator, very much like Constantine is. He's the protagonist and the first narrator of the Dresden Files series. As of Cold Days, he's 37 years old. So his mother he was born on Halloween to Margaret LeFay and Malcolm Dresden. His mother died in childbirth. So, his dad took care of him while traveling across the country, trying to make a career as a stage magician. His dad died of a brain aneurysm and became a ward of the state, so forth and so on. Powers matured around 10. Basically, upon learning magic, many wizards play. Never mind. It's a wizard knows his path. Oh God, there's a lot that. As a powerful young as the most powerful young wizard of the White Council, stop moving, computer. Dresden has a large repertoire of magical powers. His skills at evocation are quick and dirty magic, aka kaboom magic, and battle magic lean towards large blasts of fire and force, sometimes using wind. He also has some skill with earth, usually manipulating gravity and lightning magic. He has considerable magical brute strength, though his control is initially somewhat lacking. For example, he can easily shatter a pair of handcuffs. He may also break his wrists from the person, break the wrists of the person wearing them. Moving on, he frequently is accused of lacking subtlety in his magic until he began training Molly as an apprentice. More or less, these guys have a very similar. I could go over each one of them. But these guys have very similar power sets. He's got a long list. He also possesses a large amount of magical items. Staff, used for channeling magic, just helps him channel magic. Now, a version of the staff has been described in the same sigils formerly used on his now lost kinetic energy rings. Enchanted duster. It's now a leather jacket, which given to him. It basically appears with the armored enchantments at the beginning of the Blood Red and later fighting with this. Basically, it protects him from various attacks. A blasting rod, channel fire spells. Shield bracelets create force fields. And the bracelets begin as a simple contract, but evolved for the chain, multiple woven together in shields of different metals. Energy storing rings. Essentially, they can store a small fraction of kinetic energy. He's got multiple, and they continues to go from there. A silver pentacle pendant, which was inherited by his mom, used for various spells, including tracking an identical pendant and then focusing on calling a wizardly light. Margaret LeFay's jewelry, vast knowledge of the ways. Cane sword, which can channel earth-based magic, is a slender 30-inch steel blade inside. Dead Man's Talisman, used to protect him from spirits. An enchanted rope, supposedly made from the hair of a unicorn, woven through it, made with the hair of a unicorn, holds where handcuffs won't. Okay. And the spell Dresden put on it that operates it with his will is set to his apartment and won't work anywhere else. So essentially, they have to be in an apartment, so that won't play a factor in this. Speaking Stone, a small piece of smooth fire around obsidian that Dresden used to communicate with basically someone from the dead. And a silver belt buckle was cast from silver, designed for of a standing bear. Its purpose was to contain a reservoir of raw life and magic in case of emergencies. Nitrous for the body, mind, and soul. Upon activation, the energy contained within the belt buckle would flow into the bearer, rejuvenating them. He does also carry some relative regular weapons, such as he does actually carry a current firearm as of the Skin game was the Smith & Wesson 500. So essentially, these guys are very similar. I wouldn't say they're mirror images of each other, but they can do a lot of the same things that they can do. So who wins in a fight here? I'm gonna be honest. It is a difficult question because they could easily catch the other in each other's spells or in each other's abilities. That's pretty obvious at this point. But, I mean, one X factor this fight's going to bring here is the fact that their personalities. Now, admittedly, Harry Dresden's personality is... I don't know if he's I'll be honest, I don't know how dirty of a fighter he is, per se, compared to John. John definitely is a dirty fighter, and he definitely has an edge in that regard. Also, I mean, it's clear that while he can certainly use magic without any of his accessories, without any of his magical items, and he can enhance himself where John necessarily can't automatically do so, it's clear that his items give him a bigger boost in terms of his ability to use weaponry or use magic, whereas John doesn't need that. John can do it just fine. Granted, there might be backlash from magic, but still. And John would be able to sense has magical awareness, so he can sense the magical items that he possesses. And I'm sure Harry probably has some sort of level of magical sensing as well. The difference here is that where John doesn't really, unless he's setting up something, he doesn't keep pretty much anything except for the Moonblade with him. And really, depending on what the phases of the moon is at that point, the fight, it could be very, different. So John's going to have a much easier time, I think, trying to disarm him of a certain amount of his items versus John trying to take him on. Or versus Dresden trying to take John on, disarming him. All he disarmed with his blade, and John knows how to fight without that, quite frankly. So if these two meet in combat, you're going to see a lot of spells flying back and forth. I mean, John might try to slug him, but with Dresden enhancing his physical abilities, that's not going to work. He might even break his hand. Just bloody hell! And then Dresden just smacks him. Oh shit! And basically, John then basically summons pyrokinesis right from the cigarette in his mouth. Harry probably just reversed that, and they reverse it back. John's basically disappeared at this point. But this time, Harry goes to find him, senses him, and he tries to end it there with a seal or a sigil of some kind, or blast him. Sees John, Judge's like, damn it, and then just disappears because it was illusion, and because he can cast such things. Able to create illusions to fool people. He was able to trick Darkseid into thinking he was dead and cast a universe-wide illusion, convincing Darkseid that it was a dead dimension he had already consumed. Think about that for a second. In terms of the level of illusion casting, to be able to fool Darkseid, who is a beyond universal level entity, who can survive a retcon and be the same individual he was prior to that, because he exists outside universes. A guy who literally, his true form would just, entering our universe would destroy it. A guy who's literally the living embodiment of tyranny. To be able to fool him, not just once, but twice, And across the universal level illusion, that's the type of power Harry doesn't have. Harry is powerful, but he does not have universal illusion casting levels of power. I don't think he has universal levels of any power, quite frankly. I mean, I'm looking over everything I can find here, and it's powerful, absolutely, but it's just not. It's not on a universal level. No. So in terms of like how he could fool Harry, absolutely he would be able to fool Harry. And by that account, all he has to do is really set up something for Harry to walk into, set a trap up for him, and he probably gets nails Harry at that point. Now, when I say he nails Harry, I don't mean he bangs him, although Constantine surprisingly is depicted as bisexual. No, I mean he does something that drains his magical energy, or he summons a demon that Harry can't deal with. Hell, he could theoretically summon Trigon if he really wanted to. He's just not that dumb. Or he just summons enough demons to stall Harry as prepares his next trick. I think the problem here for Harry is that for all of the power he possesses, and he possesses a large amount of power and abilities, is that I don't think he has the forethought to really set up for the next attack. He's not going to be able to plan, I think, on the same level as Constantine, because Constantine survives more through his cunning and his wits than his sheer raw magical abilities. And he's easily more willing to play dirty. Plus, again, and on the universal level of illusion casting, that's something that Harry just isn't capable of stopping, I don't think. So more likely he would just be setting him up for another and another and another. In fact, basically he'd probably be, while the illusion's going, struggling to set up seals for the next thing. He'd probably be planning a couple steps ahead. So when he beats that set of demons, a new, more powerful set of demons show up, or something along those lines happen. Eventually, I think Harry I don't think Harry is killed. I think Constantine just basically beats Harry and just shows him up. And so I think I got to give it to John Constantine, only because when you factor in your X factors here, when you factor in their personalities, the fact that John Constantine is just a dirty fighter, let's be honest, he's a dirty fighter and will do whatever it takes. The fact that he does have a level of universal power on some degrees, at least a level of cosmic awareness and the ability to cast illusions on a universal scale. Not to mention that he is a cunning strategist in his own right and a planner. So he's probably setting up for the next event, the next fight, the next move. So he probably would lay out a couple traps while he's got the illusion cast. Harry, for all his power, and it's a lot, I didn't even go over a quarter of what he's capable of doing. He can develop foresight, but John has that too. He additionally, after bonding with native spirit in Turncoat, he's able to link with spirits into the spirit's intellectus ability concerning himself upon the island. Seems that upon the time that he got exception at birth, he and his ex-lover have some form of power over outsiders, but I don't think that would really matter here. I mean, yeah, he has a lot. He's got, a lot of physical and mental attacks he can use, a lot of energy-based attacks, a lot of spiritual attacks, but I think John's resourcefulness is going to ultimately overcome Harry's overall abilities. So that's my thoughts on that. I really would hope to see Deathbattle do a fight with these guys at some point. That'd be cool. Till then, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know, we'll do a review of it at some point. I got another Who Would Win and What If tomorrow, but I have an extra day off this week just because I was told, take a sick day. Just do some physical and mental health for yourself. So I'll help them up relatively within a good time. I had them up late today just because things got ahead of me. Till then, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.